You wake with pain in your stomach. At first, you blame dinner, bad berries perhaps, or a roasted squirrel that was not roasted enough. Then the pain returns, much harder. Your whole belly tightens as if something is twisting inside, and one important fact becomes impossible to ignore. You're 9 months pregnant. So no, this is probably not the squirrel. Your baby is coming, and it may be coming right now. Unfortunately, you are alone in a prehistoric forest. There is no hospital, no ambulance, no medicine, and no clean bed waiting nearby. There is only you, a dying fire, an animal hide, and a sharp stone previously used for cutting meat. Soon, it may serve another purpose. Strangely, you may know how to survive. You have never studied medicine, but you have watched births, injuries, bleeding, and newborn care throughout your life. Still, human birth is unusually difficult. The baby must descend, twist, and rotate its shoulders through a narrow passage before the body can follow. The baby may emerge facing away from you, exactly where you cannot easily see, reach, support its head, or notice that something is wrong. If the baby becomes stuck, there is nobody nearby to help. No surgery, no emergency transport, and no second pair of experienced hands. So take a slow breath and grip the nearest tree. The next contraction is beginning, and this one is much stronger than the last. The contraction finally releases you. For several seconds, everything feels normal again. Birds sing, the fire crackles, and the forest continues without concern. A tiny beetle walks across your animal hide, completely unconcerned by your medical emergency. You take a breath, then begin preparing for what comes next. Your prehistoric birth plan is simple. Step 1. Do not die. Step 2. Keep the baby alive. Step 3. Solve everything else later. There is no hospital bag, clean clothing, knitted hat, or comfortable bed. You have animal skin, dried grass, water, fiber, and a sharp stone. It is not a luxury maternity suite. Still, the floor is spacious, the ventilation is excellent, and nobody will surprise you with a medical bill. You spread dry grass across the driest ground. Then you place the cleanest animal hide over it, creating the best bed your shelter can provide. Cleanest is a generous description. The hide once covered an animal, and later spent months lying on the floor, inside a smoky shelter. Compared with the wet soil outside, however, it is practically premium bedding. Here, cleanliness does not mean perfection. It simply means the better option. You place water, plant fiber, animal sinew, and the sharp stone within reach. Every movement is slow, because your body may interrupt without warning. Another contraction begins. You stop working, grip the nearest wooden post, and breathe through it. The baby has clearly ignored your schedule. You cannot read. You have never opened a medical textbook, and you do not know what a cervix, or a contracting uterus, actually is. As far as you are concerned, your stomach has simply declared war. But despite lacking scientific knowledge, you are not completely unprepared. You grew up in a small community, where privacy was rare, and life happened in front of everyone. Illness, injury, birth, and death. You watched animals give birth. You saw women enter shelters with older female relatives, then return later, carrying newborns wrapped in warm hides. Perhaps you carried water. Perhaps you held a frightened mother's hand, or watched an experienced woman massage her back and change her position. You probably heard childbirth too. The shouting, the encouragement, the heavy breathing, and occasional insults directed at the baby's nervous father. These experiences gave you practical knowledge. You cannot explain why certain positions help, but you have seen that they sometimes make labor easier. You cannot explain why warmth matters either, but you remember what happened when a wet newborn became dangerously cold beside a weak fire. Your education was not written on a page. It lived in stories, repeated movements, remembered sounds, and the practiced hands of older women. The problem is, none of those hands are here today. Only yours remain, and they are currently trembling with fear and exhaustion. Here is something important. Prehistoric women probably did not normally choose to give birth alone, despite the familiar image of the fearless cave woman. Human childbirth is complicated. A baby has a large head, while the mother's pelvis is also shaped by the demands of walking upright. During birth, the baby often has to rotate. First, the head turns, then the shoulders, and finally, the rest of the body follows. This process works best when everyone cooperates. Unfortunately, the baby has received no instructions and may choose the least convenient position possible. In many births, the infant emerges facing away from the mother, making it difficult for her to see, reach, or understand what is happening. Another person can support the head, check the cord, guide the shoulders, catch the slippery newborn, and notice dangerous bleeding much sooner. She can also tell the mother, "Yes, this is horrible, but it is normal." That may not remove the pain, but it can prevent panic. Human beings may have helped one another through childbirth for an extremely long time. Survival was rarely the work of one isolated, indestructible person. So your situation is not how every prehistoric woman gave birth. It is what happens when the community's usual support system suddenly fails. Perhaps your group moved camp. Perhaps you wandered away gathering food, or labor began early. Babies have never respected travel plans or convenient timing. While you can still move, you arrange everything within reach: water, dry grass, twisted plant fiber, animal sinew, and a freshly broken stone flake. The stone looks ordinary, but its new edge is incredibly sharp. A freshly fractured flake may cut more finely than a metal knife. Normally, you use such tools for cutting meat, scraping animal hides, and preparing tough plants. Today, this one may become a medical instrument. It was lying beside the fire only minutes ago, which is not ideal. Still, it is the freshest and sharpest instrument you possess. You add more wood to the flames. You know nothing about bacteria and have never heard words like infection, contamination, or sterilization. But prehistoric people were not foolish. You know foul water causes sickness, rotten meat is dangerous, and dirty wounds often become swollen and painful. You have also seen those wounds become deadly. Scientific explanation is unnecessary when experience has already shown the consequences clearly enough. So you choose the driest ground, the cleanest hide, the freshest water, and the newest cutting edge your surroundings can provide. Nothing here is sterile. Smoke drifts through the shelter. Ash settles nearby, and the beetle has now reached the rim of your water container. Still, you're reducing the danger as much as possible. Survival is rarely perfection. It is making slightly better choices very quickly. The contractions are coming faster, and lying flat feels terrible. So you stand, breathe carefully, and begin walking slowly around the shelter. You lean forward against a tree and sway from side to side. Movement feels more manageable than remaining still while the pressure builds. When the pressure moves lower, you squat. This position is not unusual. It has been part of your daily life since childhood. You squat while cooking, working, preparing hides, and resting beside the fire. Modern people pay for classes. Your training was completely free. Squatting allows gravity to help and may give the pelvis slightly more room. Unfortunately, your legs eventually begin trembling from exhaustion. So you kneel. Then you move onto your hands and knees. Then you stand again, searching for any position your body can tolerate. There is no official prehistoric birthing position. Women probably used whatever felt manageable, and whatever they had previously seen, other women use a hanging rope, wooden post, tree branch, or another woman could provide support. Today, the nearest tree has been given that responsibility. It is not especially encouraging, but it is dependable. You grip the bark and breathe, while another powerful contraction moves through your body. Then warm fluid runs down your legs. Your waters have broken. You look down, and the beetle immediately changes direction. A wise decision. For one terrifying moment, the baby makes no sound. You stare down. The child is covered in blood, fluid, and a pale, creamy substance on the skin. That pale coating may look strange, but it helped protect the baby inside the womb. You do not waste time trying to make the child look presentable. There are no family photographs scheduled. You lift the baby against your chest. You gently clear the fluid away from its mouth and nose. Then you rub its back firmly. You speak to it. Perhaps you call its name. Perhaps you simply repeat the same sound again and again, anything to break the silence. Then the tiny body moves. The baby takes its first breath and screams. It is loud, it is angry, and it is absolutely wonderful. You pull the animal hide around both of you. A newborn can lose body heat very quickly. The baby is wet. The air is cold. And prehistoric central heating consists of a fire that requires someone to keep feeding it. Your own skin is now the safest source of warmth. So you hold the child tightly against your bare chest, keeping its head supported while trying not to collapse from exhaustion. But you cannot rest yet, because the baby is still attached to you. And somewhere inside your body, the placenta is waiting to make its dramatic entrance. Modern stories usually treat the baby's arrival as the ending. Everyone smiles. Someone cries. The music begins. But your body still has another task. The placenta must come out. This temporary organ fed the baby throughout the pregnancy. For months, it carried oxygen and nutrients through the umbilical cord. Now it is separating from the wall of your womb. Another contraction begins. You look down at the newborn. You had hoped the contractions were finished. Your body clearly disagrees. Fortunately, delivering the placenta is usually easier than delivering the baby. Usually. You push again. The placenta slowly slides out onto the animal hide. It looks like a large, dark piece of flesh filled with blood vessels. Not beautiful, not elegant. But for months, it kept your baby alive. The umbilical cord still connects the newborn to it. You may wait until the cord becomes pale and stops pulsing. Then you tie it using twisted plant fiber or a thin strip of animal sinew. You take the freshly broken stone flake and carefully cut between the ties. There was probably no single method used by every prehistoric community. Some people may have cut the cord quickly. Others may have waited until after the placenta appeared. Different groups likely developed their own traditions based on experience and the materials available around them. Unfortunately, most of that evidence has disappeared. Plant fibers decay. Animal tissue vanishes. Wood rots. And nobody left behind written instructions titled, "What to do after your baby arrives in a cave." So archaeologists must reconstruct these practices from biology, ancient tools, burial evidence, and the traditions of later communities. You put the stone down. For a brief moment, everything is quiet. Then you notice the blood. It is spreading beneath you. Some bleeding after birth is normal. Too much bleeding is deadly. Postpartum hemorrhage has killed mothers throughout human history. And here, there is no blood transfusion, no medicine, no surgeon, no emergency team waiting outside the shelter. There is only your body and the baby. You bring the newborn toward your breast. The baby searches instinctively. Its mouth opens. The tiny head moves from side to side. After several attempts, the baby begins to suck. This provides food, but it may also help you survive. Breastfeeding encourages your body to release oxytocin. That hormone helps the womb contract, and those contractions can slow the bleeding. You do not know the word oxytocin. You do not understand the chemistry. You simply know that newborn babies should be placed at the breast. Once again, prehistoric knowledge comes before scientific explanation. You massage the lower part of your stomach, just as you may have seen older women do. You stay lying down. You drink small amounts of water. You keep yourself and the baby close to the fire. Then you wait. Every minute feels longer than the last. You listen to the baby breathing. You watch the entrance to the shelter. And you hope someone finds you before the fire dies. Eventually, you hear something outside. At first, it sounds like wind moving through the trees. Then you hear footsteps, voices. Someone calls your name. An older woman rushes into the shelter. She sees you. The blood, the placenta, the cut cord, and the tiny bundle moving against your chest. She immediately kneels beside you. Someone else adds wood to the fire. Another person brings fresh water. Someone wraps the baby in a second animal hide. The older woman examines you and checks whether the bleeding has slowed. For the first time since labor began, you are no longer alone. And this is the real answer to the mystery. Prehistoric women survived childbirth not because they felt less pain, not because their bodies were indestructible, and certainly not because giving birth on a pile of grass was secretly more comfortable. They survived because humans shared knowledge. Experienced women helped younger women. Families brought food and water. Other adults cared for older children. The community protected the mother while she recovered. Even when a woman was forced to give birth alone, she still carried generations of shared experience inside her memory. But not everyone survived. Many mothers died from bleeding, infection, exhaustion, or obstructed labor. Many babies never took their first breath. Prehistory was not a magical period when people were naturally tougher. It was dangerous, often brutally so. The extraordinary part is not that prehistoric women never needed help. It is that human beings recognized the importance of helping one another thousands of years before hospitals, medical schools, or written language existed. Your baby begins crying again. The older woman carefully places the child back into your arms. You look down at the tiny face. This baby cannot walk. It cannot find food. It cannot protect itself. It will depend on other human beings for years. And perhaps that helplessness reveals something important about our species. Humans did not survive because we were always strong alone. We survived because when one person could no longer stand, someone else usually reached down and helped them up. And that is how prehistoric women survived childbirth. Not through strength alone, but through knowledge, instinct, and the help of others. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the strange and dangerous reality of the past. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel and join us for the next adventure, where history becomes something you can almost feel, And that is how prehistoric women survived childbirth, not through strength alone, but through knowledge, instinct, and the help of others. If you enjoyed this journey into the strange reality of the past, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and join us for the next story, where history becomes something you can almost feel.